Wonder what Santa's gonna bring me for Christmas. Whoa.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree.
2 green boxes. What is up and welcome back to my channel, ShadeTV. My name is Marissa Hill. If you're new to my channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button as well as give this video a thumbs up at the end if you enjoy this video review and unboxing. And as always, don't forget to hit that notification bell as we do have a ton of content coming out that I do not want you guys to miss out on. Don't forget as well to check out that new join button that we have down below. That's right, we now have a Shade Gang membership program. So we have multiple tiers. Definitely go to that join button so you can check them all out, as well as we have a new added Discord, and that Discord comes with a ton of perks, so be sure to check out in that membership what you will get out of it, including, by the way, not limited, a calendar of weekly releases. So if you guys are interested and want to be organized with what's dropping every week, we will be offering that too. So don't forget to check out those new membership programs that we have to offer. As well as don't forget to check out that merch, guys. We have a ton of Shade Gang merch that we've created for you, from coffee cups to t-shirts to hoodies, you name it, we have everything covered. So be sure to check that out as well. So if you were wondering what I got under that Christmas tree, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. That's right, we got 2 green boxes, and I am so excited to talk about this second capsule that was done with Casablanca and New Balance on one of my favorite silhouettes that New Balance has done this year, the 327. So we are not only going to go through both of the colorways that I was able to cop in this second capsule collection, but we are also going to go through and compare the older silhouette with these two to see how different the color scheme is with this fall winter collection. And then we're going to talk about how I was able to style these shoes. So this specific styling section actually has primarily Sies Marjan pieces in it. I'm going to talk about that designer and talk about how all of this luxury ready-to-wear designer's clothing I got for a 95% off, and on top of that, depending on how much you spend, you get an additional 20 to 30% on top of that. So I basically bought these luxury ready-to-wear clothing pieces for the price that I would get items at a Zara or an H&M, which is insane. So you guys are not going to want to miss out on that styling section whatsoever. Then we're going to conclude with how these shoes are doing on the resale market. I think this is always a slept on collab. New Balance has kind of been slept on this year, and I think that is problematic for those who are resellers because New Balance is killing the game. They are legit killing it in comparison to any other brand this year. I feel so strong in my opinions on that New Balance has taken the cake. If I were to bring up a spreadsheet of how their launches have done this year, it is mind-blowing. So, of course, Nike has, a few pairs that are the Dunks, the Dior's that are in their own league of their own, but as far as other brands in comparison to that, New Balance is killing it. So stay tuned for that as well. All right, so now let's jump into it. Let's go through, talk about these 2 colorways. I'm actually going to bring out the first collab that was done with Casablanca, just so you guys can kind of see how the first capsule that was done has such bright pops of color. So this is only one of the colorways. I did not manage to cop the other colorway, which is just basically all green suede and white. This is definitely more colorful of the two color options that were offered in that first capsule collection. As far as the color options that they chose for this specific coloring scheme, these are way more subdued. So let's start with this one here. So we've got this big, bold kind of vintage N that we have on the side in this beautiful leather. This is premium leather, premium suede throughout this shoe. New Balance kills it when it comes to quality, and you can really just feel it throughout these shoes. This is a beautiful, beautiful prime premium leather and in black, and it is beautiful. And then we have perforated white leather as that base that wraps around the lateral side of the shoe into that medial side, so nice breathability. We've got this beautiful terry gray that outlines the tip of that toe box here, comes up to the side of this tongue onto those eyelets. We've got beautiful just vintage cream laces and this pop of pink on the tongue, some hints of that kind of orange and green coloring scheme with that 327 for that dual branding on the top of the tongue there, with the Idealiste on the inside and a bright pop of color on that insole in that orange. One of my favorite parts about this shoe as well that was on the OG that they kept the same is actually the lace tips. Look how cool. We've got these like gold plated lace tips. So it just kind of gives it this like very luxurious feel to it. So I feel like it's just like a little more high end. And it should be on these guys as well. Let me just pull out this here. Yeah, got them on the same laces here as well. Then as we go down to that midsole, we've got this vintagey vibe kind of going with that tan at the base of that cream midsole. Then the outsole we have in just a basic black color scheme that goes all the way up in that waffle effect on the back, and that 327 New Balance embroidered on the back of that heel on top of that light terry gray. This is a beautiful shoe, and oh my gosh, it was so fun styling it because it just goes pretty much with everything and anything. If you guys also want more information on the specific designer of Casablanca, be sure to check out my first 327 video that I did on the OG colorways, because I go in depth and in detail on him as a designer and why he chose to come out with this type of collaboration with New Balance. So now let's go on to the second shoe. We've got kind of similar tones in the sense where we've got that white perforated leather. This leather is so soft, my goodness. It's just nice and tumbled. It's not gonna hurt your toe box at the top here either. It's very broken in. Instead of that black end, we have it in a suede material in this kind of light gray that's outlined tastefully in that pop of green coloring scheme. So if you're not all about the green and orange on this shoe, this is definitely the version for you. Then we have it wrapping around in this same kind of tannish gray colorway. We again have on this one actually some white laces versus the cream laces on the black. And then at the base, we've got the same midsole in white and that tannish cream at the bottom. And instead of the white for that waffle effects at the bottom, we've got it in that kind of tannish cream color, and it goes onto the back as well, as opposed to the black. And then we've got that green embroidered New Balance 327 on the back, and the same insole in that bright pop of orange colorway. The tongue, as opposed to having pink on this, we've got it in a cream colorway, and we've got that green and orange 327 dual branding on the tongue there with the Idealiste. And of course it comes in these premium boxes with the Idealiste 327 on the top. When you get this shoe, it really does feel like you have a luxury designer brand shoe. They did not cheap out as far as the packaging goes. It has tennis club on the side. So just some ideology behind Casablanca and the brand. It kind of reminds me of this kind of country club tennis type of private club brand that's inspired by basically luxury in the hotels. The designer spoke about how he basically was influenced by people in lobbies of hotels and how they would be pretty formal and dressed up. And he really was inspired by wanting this comfortable yet luxurious kind of brand. And I really feel that that really has inspired this collaboration that he did with New Balance. All right, so now let's talk about sizing. So I typically have been getting the 327 in a size 7. I typically am a 7.5. I just haven't managed to get a 7.5 until this point. I was able to get a 7.5 in the green and gray, and I got a 7 in the black. I will say that I think that you should definitely stay true to size. I prefer the 7.5 because I do like to have a little extra space in my shoe. I can still wear the 7 and I'm fine with it. It's just more snug. But me personally, I do, again, like to have a little bit of extra space in my shoes. And for those of you who don't know, I do have narrow, thin feet with high arches. So that will definitely depend on what sizing you do decide to go with. I love New Balance. I do love how they have lots of arch support in their shoes. This is a pretty narrow silhouette for those of you who are unfamiliar with 327, but it is quite comfortable and it is by far one of my favorite New Balance silhouettes of the year. So now let's jump into some styling, talk about how I was able to style both of these shoes. These shoes were definitely not a difficult shoe to style just because of the subdued color choices that we have with each of them. Particularly, as I mentioned earlier, Sies Marjan is the designer that I kind of paired a lot of the looks with. Sies Marjan actually kind of reminds me of the creative director of Casablanca in a sense of, you know, he's very kind of laid back but luxurious at the same point, and uses these bright kind of colorways within his designs. And we definitely saw that with the first collab that Casablanca did with New Balance, super bright colors. The second collab kind of had to do with a lot of Dalmatians, black and white, but still like different types of prints and textures, which Sies Marjan, the brand, is definitely known for as well. So the director, Sander Lack, actually named the brand after his dad, Sies, and Marjan, his mom, and he is a Dutch designer. So he's got a lot of Dutch inspiration within his brand, and I think it just paired very well with the Casablanca brand, and he is a French Moroccan designer, for those of you who don't know. So for the first look, let me just actually stand up here. So we have Outfit Industries, just kind of grayish coloring scheme in dark gray that I paired with some Sies Marjan oversized white pants, and the texture on these pants are insane. So these pants went for around $1,000 and I actually got them for around $45. So just so you guys know, keep an eye out for Sies Marjan items, because these are items that will have resale value, and the fact that I can buy a pair of pants that I normally would never have been able to afford at 95% off is insane. So these pants I paired with this kind of distressed gray hoodie, and then I topped that off with a helmet ling coat, which actually this helmet ling coat I wore with each of the looks. For the second look, I wore my Balenciaga sweater, paired that with, again, some Sies Marjan cargo oversized cropped pants. And these pants, again, went for around $800 to $900. I got these for around $50, which again is an insane price point for a designer that is extremely well gifted with high quality materials. And I definitely love these pants as far as like the different fabric and material that I think went very well with the shoes.
New life, your love is my new life. You teach me to see right. Your love is enough, your love is enough. I can't contain all this joy that I found, joy that I found. New mercy before me is taking new ground. Grace never ending has found me completely. What love is like this? 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 What love is like this?
And last but not least, I wore some Zara, just faux leather pants, but I also paired that again with the Sies Marjan. This is a men's sweater and it has kind of this zebra tiger print to it with some pink. There's some pinks that they displayed in the shoes, so I definitely wanted to have some pink hues in one of the looks. This sweater went for around $1,200, and again, I got it for around $55, which is again insane for that price point. I never would have been able to afford this sweater without those discounts, and it is the softest sweater, I swear. It's insane.
Like this. What love is like this? 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 What love is like
If you guys are always probably thinking I could never afford a luxury ready-to-wear brand like Sies Marjan, well, you can. Especially the reason that it's going to 95% is because unfortunately Sies Marjan was affected partially by the COVID-19 pandemic. So it is just, he just so happens to be one of the designers, unfortunately, that did not make it through. And a sad story about that is I have actually been a fit model for Sies Marjan. And so I have met with the designer, I've met with the team, and their clothes were basically designed off of my sizing. So pretty bummed to see such a phenomenally talented designer have to, you know, end his line the way that he had to because he's so talented. But I do see him landing somewhere else as a creative director. We shall see, but definitely keep an eye out for that brand if you do see it online, because it is such high quality, and I do think that for the price point that it's going for right now is insane. So you don't want to miss out on that. All right, so now let's conclude with the resale on how these shoes are currently doing and talk about how much they retailed for. All right, so now let's conclude with the resale on these shoes. Both of these colorways retail at $150. I did spend a little bit more just because I got it directly from the Casablanca website. As far as the resale goes for the black, this is currently sticking around the same, around what it retailed for is $150. This colorway, the green and the gray, is doing a little bit better. So that is going, depending on what size, between $170 to $240. And the OG colorway that I have here in my size 7 is actually going around $500. And the last sale was an 8.5 that sold a little bit above $500. And so depending on what size you are on the OG colorways, that is going for around $300 to $700. So it's something to definitely keep in mind with these two colorways, as I do see potentially the prices going up depending on whether or not Casablanca does decide to just keep pumping out some more collabs with New Balance. But definitely keep an eye out for these, as I do see them potentially increasing. All right, you guys, thanks so much again for tuning into my channel, ShadeTV. My name is Marissa Hill, aka the Hype Model if you follow me on Instagram. Be sure, again, if you're new to my channel, to smash that subscribe button, as well as please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Also, feel free to leave me any comments or questions that you guys may have on either the styling section, these two colorways, or even the OGs. I am here for anything that you have any questions or concerns about. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell, as we do have a ton of heat coming out that I don't want you guys to miss. As well as check out that join button, guys. We have a new Discord for Shade Gang members, so be sure to check that out to see what all the different tiers are, as well as all the additional perks that we offer our members. And don't forget, as always, to check out that membership merchandise, guys. We've got so much Shade merch that we created on our new store. So we've got coffee mugs, we have stickers, you name it, shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, we've got it all. So check that out. All right, until next time, we will catch you guys on the next video.